What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Post-Match Panic, where two new fans are talking wrestling.
We're watching wrestling with zero nostalgia goggles.
So if you're here for the deep lore and 20 years of insider knowledge, that's not us.
We're going to give you our reactions, predictions, and probably some really bad hot takes.
Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. We are talking Friday Night SmackDown for January 16th, 2026. Continuing the European tour, we are in London, England, where the new champion opens the show. Drew McIntyre makes his entrance in the most Drew McIntyre way possible with bagpipes. That happened.
It did. Lots of them.
Lots of bagpipes.
And they were, I don't know about you, but it seemed like they were like out of tune or something was wrong. It did not sound good.
It's just bagpipes. I mean, that's just, you just described bagpipes.
Bagpipes.
Yeah, it was great. So Drew came in, he's doing his thing as the new champion. This is his first showing, televised showing as the new champion. He started off strong, and then all of a sudden he just turned on the crowd. You guys weren't there for me at all. You guys suck. The crowd turned on him real quick.
Real quick,
which was, it's typical Drew McIntyre. Like he's thinks that he's been screwed for the past 2 years, which I agree with for the most part. His reaction to the crowd was just the most Drew McIntyre thing I could think of at that point. So, initial thoughts on the new champ?
I like him. I mean, I think it's good, and I'm excited to see what he does. Yeah. And I think he is definitely the best heel in the company right now. Sorry, Gunther.
I agree. No, that's fine. He did win in that controversial way with Jacob Fatu helping out with that, making his return last week in the 3 Stages of Hell match. But before we get to Fatu, we did have an appearance by the Viper. Mr. Randy Orton comes out to essentially tell him, hey, I'm going to go into the Rumble and I'm going to come after you. Like, that's what it is right there. I'm going for 15.
And Randy deserves 15.
Yeah.
Can we just say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he needs it. He's been staring at it for a while. They've been teasing it for a while. And I'd love nothing more than to see Randy secure another belt.
I think, if he were to win the Rumble, I would be totally okay with that. If not, go for the Chamber. It all kind of depends on what's left when it comes to the Chamber to see which title's available. But, we'll see. Then we had the Samoan Werewolf, our boy Jacob Fatu, making his appearance, chasing Drew out of the arena. A scared Drew McIntyre, it looked like.
Yeah, what was that about?
I mean, if you had that giant Samoan Werewolf running down the entryway at you, wouldn't you run?
I don't know. That's what I was confused about. I was like, well, if he's innocent and he didn't hurt Jacob Fatu last year, why is he running? Tell me, Brian, why is Drew McIntyre running from Jacob Fatu?
Seems like it's a guilty until proven innocent situation.
That's how I'm treating this. I'll be honest.
Yep. So I'm just glad Fatu's back. I just want to see more werewolf. Let's go.
Just unleash the rabid beast.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So this was the week we knew going in that this was going to be the qualifying matches for the Fatal 4-Way for the championship match at the Royal Rumble. So we had all 4 of those tonight. So we'll just go ahead and get into the first one. We had Randy Orton versus The Miz. Initial thoughts for me on this one. It started off during right after Fatu chased Drew out of the arena with a skull crushing finale by The Miz. That's what started the match. What were your thoughts going into it?
Yeah, I mean, I've liked the back and forth between Randy and The Miz for the last few weeks, and I really like The Miz. And I was happy that they got a match. I was happy that he was a part of this little tournament. And I'm also happy that he lost.
Yeah. I think it was the right move having Randy be the one that qualifies. I don't think, The Miz should beat Randy Orton and at this stage of the game. That's just kind of what it is. So
yeah. I mean, The Miz is the ultimate company guy, right?
Yeah.
Like he is there to do whatever needs to be done to keep things moving. And he seems like a good sport, and he's just an entertaining dude. And I hope one day he becomes like a GM or something,
Yeah,
because I think the company will need him beyond his wrestling days.
agreed. And we've had that conversation in the past where, yeah, I think Miz just has that charisma where he could be a great general manager. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see where that goes from there. But yeah, with the RKO out of nowhere to finish the match, Randy Orton is the first to qualify for the Fatal 4-Way. No real predictions after this one. I think after all these qualifiers, these are just qualifiers. I mean, we'll talk about who we think is going to win after. But right now, Randy's the first to move on to the Fatal 4-Way.
yep,
Breaking up the qualifying matches, we had Julia and Kiana James versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte makes her return to Friday Night SmackDown in a tag team match against the Women's United States Champion and her entourage. I
yep,
don't know. Yeah, that's kind
yep.
of
It
it, right?
happened.
It happened. It was a match. It happened. I don't know where Kiana James fits into everything. I don't know what their plan is for her. I don't know what they're doing. I like that Julia's being featured more, but
hmm
I just don't know where her place, like where she's gonna land, like in the roster, in the lineup. I mean, she's the Women's United States Champion, but like, do we care about that right now?
I don't think we do, and that is a problem in my
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
And I'll be honest, something that I was thinking about while I was watching that was, I think for I don't know enough about Julia, but
Hmm.
I thought Kiana James did better work in the ring
Yeah,
than Julia did. And I don't know anything about Kiana James. I don't know much about Julia outside of the handful of matches that I've watched in the last year.
hmm,
But again, it's only been a handful of matches because she just keeps getting buried on a weekly basis.
yep,
And I don't know if it's a language barrier issue, Brian, or if it's a personality situation where they're just not sure what to do with her as a character and she's not sure, some identity crisis happening. But I'm confused by the whole situation, to be honest with you.
yeah. I think the biggest flaw in all of this right now is that SmackDown was a shorter show. And so they didn't have the airtime to focus on all the different storylines. I think with their move back to a 3-hour show, I think this is going to allow them to explore these more buried characters and storylines a lot more. So, um,
Yeah.
I think we'll
And
see
I'm
more.
hoping she'll come out of that
Yeah,
in a
I think so.
positive light.
I think so too. I think how, because I mean she's a champion. There's a whole title belt attached to her that they haven't been featuring. So hopefully, this move to 3 hours will allow them to feature her more and to feature just that title more. Um,
Agreed.
yeah. Uh, I will say, as far as the match goes, it was a women's tag team match. We've talked about that in the past. We were not the biggest fans of all of that. It's just not as entertaining for whatever reason. That's just what it is, I think. And a lot of people agree with that. And there are some good matches, but there's less good, or there's more bad than there are good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, it's no secret that I'm just not a big fan of the women's team situation at all for
Yeah.
either side. And I like the individual wrestlers, women wrestlers,
Mhm.
but for some reason, the tag team situation takes me out of the program.
Yep.
Like, I disengage. I am not interested in watching Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have a really unfortunate match between Julia and Kiana James, where a lot of stuff is getting missed. You can see everybody anticipating their hits,
Hmm.
and it just takes me out of it, Brian. I
Yeah.
don't know about you.
Well, I think the biggest thing that takes me out of, well, specifically a match with Charlotte Flair, is her chops. Just look like she's lightly brushing the person. When we're used to seeing Gunther just destroy people and turn their chests into
Yeah,
meat, you have Charlotte go, huh, 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 like
Here's some
It's
feathers.
yeah. I mean, that's exactly what and everyone's overreacting to it, like they just got hit by Gunther, but instead they're being hit with a feather. I mean, that's just what it
Yeah,
feels like
and
to
that's
me.
I guess this same thing is yeah. It's just a lot of that kind of stuff. Sitting back and man, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
What's going on? And I almost wonder if people creative are sitting back there being like, man, what are we doing?
yeah,
What's going on? We don't even know.
yeah. I mean, the thing is though, at least they're featuring them for a while. The women's tag team just belts were just gone. Um,
Mm,
but I think now we're seeing on both shows that they are featuring the division a lot more, and hopefully with that we'll see an improvement in the product itself. So,
yeah.
um, yeah. So a Sister Abigail DDT by Alexa Bliss is what seals it. I love that DDT. I think it's great. It goes back to her time when she was Sister Abigail in the Wyatt storyline. Um, but yeah, it's just a fun looking move. I like it, and that's what ended up winning the match for Charlotte and Alexa. And of course, Nia Jax and Lash Legend had to make their appearance. So, uh, yeah, they did their thing. So they're clearly setting up um, matches for either challenging the new champions or the retaining champions after Saturday night's main event this week. Um, and we'll see what happens after that.
That's all I have
Oh,
to say about that, Brian.
yeah, yeah. Later on in the show, we did see that there was a triple threat number one contenders match confirmed for next week. So we'll see that
Yeah.
next Friday. So moving on, we are back in our qualifying matches. Trick Williams versus Matt Cardona. I don't know anything about Matt Cardona. I guess he was with the company a while back, and I know he's had a
Yeah.
few matches back on SmackDown, but I know zero about him. I've never heard his name. I've like even in a casual sense. I just know nothing about him. He may have gone under a different name back then. I don't know. Um,
He did. He went under Zack Ryder.
okay, okay,
Does
that
that
makes
name ring a
sense.
bell? It doesn't
A
ring a bell
little
to
bit.
me.
I mean,
Okay.
a little bit. It's probably because they've poked at it here and there during his return, and I think he mentioned it in one of his backstage promos that about his name. But again,
Okay.
I just know nothing about him, and he like there's nothing that stands out to me about him in the ring. He just seems very generic, and there's just
Hmm.
he's just a dude in the ring.
I know what stands out to me. He's got the widest teeth I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that.
Them veneers are doing some work,
Well, yeah, hey, man,
man.
he's got that good dental hygienist going. So,
Yeah, he does.
all right,
So I don't know much about Matt Cardona either. I just know that he's just another white dude
hmm
inside the ring fighting somebody. So
yep,
I'm not against him. I don't have
no,
anything. I don't have any reason to not like him. But yeah, I think you're right. He just kind of seems generic at this point. Maybe
yeah,
they'll build him into something.
yeah, and maybe Zack Ryder was something different. And he's trying to reinvent himself, but we're seeing Matt Cardona now, and his new fans, we don't know much about him.
Yeah,
So,
we don't know much about him. Maybe you guys could tell us why he's so cool, or why we should like him, or
educate us.
educate,
Yeah.
help us understand.
On the other side of the ring, we had our boy Tricky Williams. He made his debut last week. I've watched him in NXT for a while now. He is great. He's so much. He's very fun to watch, in my opinion. Um, and my initial thoughts going into this were I don't want to see Trick getting pushed too hard because I don't want them to burn out the new guys. I want the new guys to be able to cook. I don't want them to just jump to the front of the line right away. Um,
Hmm.
Watching the match, you could see, Trick was dominating most of the match. He has a lot of power. His trick kick looks like it really hurts. That's his big front teep kick that just, you know, puts people down and puts people out. It's great.
Pops, man. It
Dude,
pops.
it's insane. Um, and we did see that is what ended up sealing the deal for Trick in that match to qualify for the Fatal Four Way. Um, Overall thoughts on
Do
the match?
you
What do you think?
do you feel like it was slow to you, the match?
Um, I think so. I feel like all of these qualifiers were a bit kind of slow and methodical. Um,
Hmm.
but they had a lot of matches that night. I mean, they had 7 matches overall, not counting segments. but just like actual matches, there were 7 of them.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like they had to go pretty scripted, pretty quick, pretty just like move things on. Don't do anything super flashy, but um, again, yeah, it was just kind of more methodical than slow, I would say.
Yeah, it looked like they were gassed out by the end
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, I knew Trick was gonna win. I'm like,
Hmm.
Cardona's back, but I didn't see him winning that match.
Yep.
So it made sense that Trick was gonna win that for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. I think right now Trick is the guy that they're pushing on SmackDown. Until we see where Oba lands, but that's where it's at right now. Uh,
Yep.
cool. All right, moving on to our 4th match of the night. We had Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest, another number 1 contenders qualifying match. Um, Solo, just needs to go solo. That's just what it is. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just he needs to go solo. I don't like the MFTs. I don't like that he's the leader of this family. He's come a long way since being Roman's enforcer. And I know they've got this feud with the Wyatts right now, and he's got the lantern. But I think Solo just needs to go off and do his own thing. The MFTs
Yeah.
are the MFTs.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with them. He's not really leading them. They're not doing anything for him. I would say the MFTs are holding Solo back from being a great wrestler in the company. Um, and I think there's a part of me that thinks he knows that too.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Um, the other side, we had Damian Priest, who is moving on from his rivalry with Aleister Black. He's focused on getting back to the championship. He and Drew did have a rivalry for that championship. Damian was the one who cashed in on Drew, who only held it for 5 minutes a couple years ago after he beat Seth Rollins. So that is fueling that feud. But as far as the match goes, we had a lot of distractions from outside the ring, allowing for the numbers game to take effect. I think that's kind of what the MFTs just do. Any of these factions with numbers, that's their main game, is just distractions and allow for the numbers game to do their thing.
Yeah.
Um, I liked Solo's jab at Jey Uso with the whole running it back thing after the hip attacks.
Hmm.
But he got his comeuppance by getting a spinning heel kick in the face right after that. So that was always good to see. I thought this one
So
was
good.
the best ending of a match so far.
Okay.
I thought, where some of those other ones were very slow and methodical, I thought this one allowed for a bit more to happen at the end. I think they used it as well to fuel the feud between MFTs and the Wyatts. We did see the lights go out, the Wyatts show up, trying to get the lantern back.
Yeah.
But Damien took that advantage and with the South of Heaven planted Solo for the 1, 2, 3 and got to qualify for the 4-way.
I'll be honest with you, Brian. I did not have on my 2026 men's tag team match bingo card that the lantern would be the most interesting thing in this entire rivalry.
Well, okay, so the lantern, is a big deal for the Wyatts because it symbolizes Bray, who we lost a couple years ago. Who is Uncle Howdy is it's the brother, like in real life, they're brothers.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what is fueling all of that. That is their symbolism for Bray and all of that. So they are using that to fuel a pretty cool storyline, I think. We got to see some promos between the two where they just clap back at each other, feuding against the lantern and allowing the Wyatt's crazy side to come out. And we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
So, all right. So after this match, we have 3 of the 4 qualifiers for the Fatal 4-Way: Damian, Trick, and Randy Orton. Moving on for Carmelo Hayes in his United States Open Challenge, United States Championship
Hmm.
Open Challenge. Again, we've talked about this. I love the Open Challenge idea. It gives that Rumble vibe of who's next, who's coming out. Like that surprise element is always great. And who's going to come out? We don't know, but we hear the music. What were your thoughts when you heard the music pop out?
Um, I had no idea
Yeah.
who it was. I don't even. I was like, what the. So
So,
yeah, but
so
that's still par for the course for me this year because there's so many people that are coming back that haven't been around much.
mhm.
So I was like, oh, maybe this guy's somebody that hasn't been around for a little bit, and now he's coming back for the championship from Carmella. But yeah, then it was Leon Slater.
Leon Slater, who is the TNA X Division's champion currently. I think I believe he's the youngest in the company at 21 years old. I think Javon Evans may be a little bit older, but yeah, Leon Slater, the hometown boy from Britain, comes out for the Open Challenge for the U.S. Championship. Leon's been fun to watch. I've seen him in NXT a lot. They had him teaming up with Javon. These boys together are some of the bountiest boys I've ever seen.
Bounty.
They're just so bouncy. It's great. When they tag together, it's very fun to watch.
Yeah, I bet.
So hopefully we'll see more of that down the line. But yeah, again, Leon's with TNA right now. So
I'm
yeah.
wondering if a match like that, which I thought was at this point in the show, in my opinion, was the best match
Mm-hmm.
of the entire show. They had great chemistry together, and just I don't know, it was a very entertaining. Some good kicks.
Yep.
Leon Slater did like that reverse kick on Carmella, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, what just happened?
Yep.
And then that jump where he jumped over the corner rail.
Yeah, dude.
Did you see him? He got hurt on that.
Yeah.
He barrel rolled over that thing, and then I was like, dude, this guy is nuts, and I love it.
I mean, he's 21. He can take the beating. That's just what
Yes,
it
he
is. His
can.
body can handle it. Very fun match. Very fun to watch. Lots of flying, lots of flashy moves, which is always great to see. And, it's great to see
Yep.
Mello doing what Mello has done. Again, I think the 3 hour show allows for these more drawn out matches with the champions like this. So it allows people to show off more of their skills, which we did see from Mello with that finishing cutter. He just got super high up, and he can bounce too, apparently.
Oh yeah.
So he hit that cutter and got the 1, 2, 3 and retains the championship. So even though hometown boy didn't win it, Leon made a great showing. Hopefully we'll see more of him. I don't know since he's with TNA, but we'll see. I could see him being a Rumble entrant. Um,
That would be really cool. That
yeah.
would be really cool.
So
And I think it's interesting because I read this too, and I don't know if you heard this, Brian, but apparently TNA was premiering on AMC, the AMC channel,
oh
for the first time ever. And Leon Slater was not there for that because he was getting ready for SmackDown. So
okay.
I think that's kind of how the company views Leon Slater, is that he's probably not going to last in TNA for very long.
And that seems to be the case because, we're seeing that with like Joe Hendry and, TNA is doing a lot of partnerships with WWE, specifically with NXT right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of crossover. We had Jordan Grace come over from TNA and a few others. And, well, we've seen people go from WWE to TNA as well. So their partnership, it runs deep.
Yes, it does.
So. Speaking of Jordan Grace, that was our next match, Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green. Jordan making her SmackDown debut last week. Again, Jordan's a tank. Like, that's just who she is. She's a beast. And going up against the someone like Chelsea Green, I think it's a very opposites in the ring type of thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was cool to see her wrestle again, not against Alba Fire.
Mhm.
Although I like Alba. Chelsea is just a different beast, and I think Chelsea brings the best out of people when she's fighting against them. And so it was cool to see some more Jordan in the ring this match.
Yeah, and I think I think that's one of the ones we're going to see consistently over the next few weeks. Just so she's new, she's going to get established on the main roster, just like we're going to see Trick, just like we're going to see Javon. I think those are the only ones currently that are officially on the main roster. Again, they do Oba promos every show, so we'll see where he lands, and he'll be running whatever show that he's on. But yeah, Jordan being on the main roster now, I think is good. Have her work her way up. I think we talked about this before. Is like we just want to see these these up and comers cook for a bit. We want to see them work their way up the roster and establish themselves and let the crowd and let the audience fall in love with these characters and fall in love with these superstars. So
Yep.
I think Chelsea was a perfect fit for it. I knew that as soon as Jade Cargill came out to ringside, that there was just going to be some kind of interference. That's just kind of what typically happens. My immediate initial thought was that she's going to do something. Her and
Yeah.
Jordan are going to get into it, and the match is going to be ended in disqualification. Didn't end up happening, but it was still nice to see Jade do something rather than just sit in the back and say that she's that bitch. So, yeah,
She's that bitch that just sits around and just,
collects a check.
I don't even know, collects a check.
I mean, it's
She's
not,
definitely no CM Punk fighting
No.
champion. I don't think so. Has she defended that thing once?
I think once, but again, I don't think this is her fault. I think this is, they had plans for her with Bianca and Naomi, and Bianca is still injured, and Naomi is having a kid. So, they had to do a lot of rewrites and figure out but I figured they would do something by now. It's been a while since all this has happened. I figured they would have done something with Jade, but wasn't a flashy match. Yeah, it wasn't a flashy match. The result was as expected. Chelsea just trying to chop Jordan, but it just looked like she was slapping a tree trunk.
It's a good way to put it, Brian.
I mean, hey, I think they should just push Chelsea. She's very fun every time she's in the ring. I think she needs to dump the Secret Service arc and create a new character. I heard her on a podcast at one point that she wanted to do a hair match that the loser had to shave their head.
Oh my gosh,
which would be funny to see. Yeah, I think Chelsea just needs a little bit of a shakeup, but
which I think they were trying to do when they sent her to NXT and AAA. Because I think they see the strength of her as more than just an in-ring talent.
Yeah.
So I want to see it more on the main shows for sure.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah. So predictions after this, we already kind of saw it. Jordan called out Jade right after the match for the championship. So I think there will eventually be a match between those two. Hopefully we'll see it, maybe at Rumble, who knows? I think, that'd be a good time for Jade to defend, have the two most powerful women in the division, I think, physically anyway, have it out at one of the biggest shows of the year. So we'll see.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Moving on to our last number one contenders qualifying match of the night, Ilja Dragunov versus Sami Zayn. A rematch of sorts, since Ilja was the one who beat Sami for the United States Championship a while back. They seem to be pushing Sami a bit. But I going into this match, I liked Ilja to win. I just think, every time Ilja is in the ring, it's a war with whoever he's fighting. He just puts everything out there, and it just looks like he unleashes the beast every single time. I mean, he's called the Mad Dragon. And I think that dragon comes out every match that he comes out of. Oh.
I think Ilja is a better wrestler than Sami Zayn.
I agree.
In pretty much every aspect. And I get why Sami's probably getting a push, but I don't think he is the better wrestler. I totally agree with you that when Ilja's out there, he leaves everything out on the table. And he's putting 110% in. And he's just I don't know. I think he's quickly becoming one of my faves for sure. There's no doubt about that, because everything he's doing is he's selling everything so well. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to do next. And I just can't say that about Sami Zayn.
Yeah, the problem with Ilja putting everything out there every time is that we run into the possibility of him injuring himself, which is what happened right after he came up from NXT. He came up, he had a few matches, and he hurt his knee, and he was out for over a year. So that's the downside of it. I agree, though. I think he has always been one of my favorites. He's just great to watch every time. I think with Sami, what I miss about Sami is him being in a tag team with Kevin Owens. I don't think you ever got to see that.
I did not.
But
I don't know anything about Kevin Owens.
Yeah, because he's injured right now too. But when I first started watching Sammy and Kevin, and they go way back to the beginning of their careers, from what I understand, but
Okay.
they were a tag team and they feuded with I can't remember who exactly it was, but they were entertaining every time they were in the back in the ring, wherever they were. Those two I think had great chemistry. But
Yeah, I wish I could have seen that. I mean, I'm sure I can go back and watch,
hmm
but yeah, I know there's a lot of talk about Kevin Owen,
hmm
but I've never seen him do anything. I know he's there at the John Cena farewell
yeah,
match,
so
but yeah, I think something's missing from Sami Zayn, and I'd like them to figure it out. And I don't know if a championship pushes it by himself, just because he doesn't have it to me.
mhm.
I know he's well respected internationally amongst the fans,
hmm
so maybe that's a big reason why they're doing this. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if
we'll see.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. This match in particular, though, it was really good. I think there were big bombs right off the bat. Both of these guys were ready for war. And anytime these two are in the ring together, I think it's going to be a banger every time.
Yeah,
The superplex off the top rope was extremely impressive. I really like Ilya's Constantine special move where he swings outside of the ropes and then comes back and does that huge lariat,
yep,
which is just powerful. It's just powerful.
dude, so
Um,
cool.
I think probably my favorite part of the match was Ilya luring Sammy into the haluva kick, and then
Yeah,
countering it right off the bat. But um, yeah, it was good. I think,
the haluva kick.
dude, the haluva kick is great. It's the most Canadian thing.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh,
It is so
it's
Canadian,
so
bro.
Canadian. But I mean, it is what ended up winning Sammy the match and qualifying for the Fatal Four Way. So the
Yeah.
four qualifiers we had: Randy Orton, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn. What is your prediction for that match? Who is going to walk out of that the number one contender?
It's going to be Randy Orton. I don't think there's any question about
Yeah,
it in my
I
mind.
think
It's
yeah,
not even really hard to me. So it's Randy Orton.
yeah. My prediction was the same. It was going to be Randy Orton, but he's going to win the match by RKOing Trick Williams. I think that's going to be how he wins.
Well, and that
So,
sets things up really nicely
mhm.
once Randy gets things back. And then that gets probably my guess would be Cody and Jacob and Trick and Randy and Drew. I want to see all those guys just hate each other.
Yeah, yeah. It'll make for a good elimination chamber, I think, too. Even though, yeah,
Yes,
it'll
yes.
be really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, those were our matches for the night. I think overall it was a long card. They had to
It
get all
was a
those
long card.
they had to get those four qualifying matches in, as well as the Open Challenge, and as well as giving some love to the tag team division. So you know, as far as other segments go, we had the MFT and the Wyatts do their promos back and forth. Solo left with the lantern. The Wyatts did their promo saying they were going to get the lantern back. It's what kept their crazy side at bay. Solo hitting back challenges them for the tag team titles for the lantern. So we're going to have a lantern match between those four. So we'll see how that goes.
Again, I didn't think the lantern would be the most interesting thing about
Yeah,
that feud. So,
yeah.
but here we are,
Here
the
we are,
lantern.
the lantern. And then we got to see your boy Cody Rhodes, after his first time back after losing the championship. Now, before we get into what he was saying, what he talked about, uh,
Mm.
his opening or his intro music. I've always had a problem with music that doesn't immediately pop and that
Yep.
has some sort of an intro. Like in Cody's instance, the wrestling has more than one royal family. I think that needs to go. They removed the opening for Stephanie Vaquer with the whole horns crackling out before her music hit, and it worked. We don't miss it at all. I don't know what the history is behind that. Maybe you guys can tell us. Tell me what is the whole more than one royal family thing about? But I don't think it works. The later on in the show, we saw when Cody came out to confront Fatu that they just played his regular music, and that worked way better in my opinion. I think that first half a second needs to pop, and you need to make that association right then and there.
And his song is so recognizable,
Yeah.
and it does pop right off the bat. And so I would agree with you. It's there's something there that we don't know about. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping the viewers can educate us a little bit on that, because yeah, there's a handful of people like that where I'm just like, these intro songs are hot garbage.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can do a whole episode
Yeah.
on this podcast
We
about
really
that.
could. We really could. And we might. Who knows? But so Cody gets in the ring, and we're starting our uh, run of people officially declaring that they're going to the Royal Rumble. We're seeing that a lot right now. Again, Rumble is in, a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is at this point. So we're going to start seeing people come out and say, hey, I'm going to the Rumble. I'm challenging. Like, that's what it is. I don't think Cody's going to win. He won twice in a row. I think it ruins it if they have him win for a third time. Because that just shatters everything that he did in winning it 2 times in a row, I think.
Yeah. I love Cody so much.
I know. He's your boy.
But he's my boy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just, everything inside of me wants Cody to turn heel. I want Cody to let his freak flag fly.
I want Homelander
And
Cody.
I need to see him F some S up,
Yep.
if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And I don't want him to be apologetic about it.
Yep.
But I need them to build that story up, because right now with him being like getting out on the ring with the suit on, and it's tired. It's tired. And I just need more from Cody.
Yep. I agree.
I want more from Cody.
And I think that's where we're headed. We've already heard that he's going to have a new character emerge. So it's just the way that they go about it is what's going to be interesting. We knew that he wasn't going to let Fatu walk away unscathed. We saw that. We'll talk about Fatu's segment when he came out. He claps back at Cody after hollering after Cody hollered at him, calls him out to the ring. Cody and Fatu fight through all the security, and it's definitely setting up an inevitable rivalry match, which we did find out is happening at Saturday night's main event this coming Saturday. So. We will get to see that.
I'm excited about that, because I feel like a lot of times when somebody loses the championship, you don't see him for months.
Right.
Weeks, months.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Cody's just kind of still around leads me to be excited about the possibility of what they're going to do with him. And I'm very much excited for that match.
Yep. It's going to be a very fun one to watch. I mean, Fatu is always great in the ring. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Yeah, what I mean.
But before we had Jacob Fatu come out and have that segment, we had Kit Wilson, the other half of Pretty Deadly, come out. He's kind of reinvented himself as the anti-toxic masculinity advocate of the roster. Do you have any thoughts on the new Kit Wilson?
Well, it was funny because when he came out, I thought he was a completely different character. I don't know much about the other team he was in. So to me, he's just Kit Wilson, and his character is his character now. But I think there's been a lot of pop around him, and I'm not 100% sure why, outside of it's a different flavor than everything else we're getting in SmackDown right now. So I think it's just a lighter note on the tasting menu, if you want to put it that way.
No,
and
good.
I think people are there for it. Honestly. And I think I'm there for it. I'm excited to see more from it.
Yeah, I think, he was part of a tag team called Pretty Deadly. I can't remember the name of the other guy, but he got injured a while back. I saw a clip earlier this week that he got dropped on his neck pretty good, and that's why he's out. But they were always kind of that more, European flamboyant characters, which was very fun to watch. Very different, like you were saying, lighter note on the roster. And I think Kit Wilson is kind of taking that to another level in this. I think what's really popping with people is his new intro music. We were talking about music, and we can talk about that on another podcast. But his song is very catchy. You look on the Spotify streaming charts right now; it's up there.
It's up there, man.
It's up there. Yeah, not quite Joe Hendry levels, but it's up there.
Yeah, Elton Prince is the other member of
That's
Free
right.
Dudley.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, who knows when we'll see him again. Neck injuries are crazy. So, but I'm glad that Kit is actually getting some time in the sun, even though, he's just getting super kicked in the face by Jacob Fatu and having his rivalries with all the toxic men, which is just fun. It's just fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Let it happen and
Yeah.
give it all the energy it deserves.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm thinking of it.
Yep. It's great. Other segments we had throughout the night, we had a promo with Shinsuke Nakamura and one of the Tongas. I'm guessing there's history there. I don't know what that history is. I had to go look up some translations because they didn't put subtitles for Shinsuke during that. And it just seemed like that he was saying that you could go one way or the other, and you've chosen to go the bad way. And, we'll see what happens after that. So, maybe they've had history in Japan. I don't know. You guys can tell us. But yeah, they've been teasing an interaction between the two of these guys for a while. So we'll hopefully see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this because I don't know much about either guys outside of the fact that anybody on the NMFT has my disrespect.
And again,
no, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about who was it?
I think it was
no, it wasn't.
no. I think
Tongaloa?
it was Tongaloa.
Tama?
No, Tamatonga's the rabid one.
Okay, I don't even know, man.
Yeah,
There's
dude,
so many Tongas.
There's so many. So many
and
teas.
yeah, I know he'd been kind of creeping around for a while in the background.
Yeah.
But again, and like you said, there's just no history for me to pull on to understand why that's happening or why that's important. So maybe you guys can let us know.
Yeah, we'll see. And then again, more Oba promos. I'm here for it. My opinions on Oba haven't changed. I love it. I want to see where he's going to land. And I just want to see him in the main roster. I want to see what they're going to do with him. They're hyping him up so much that I just want to see what they end up doing.
Bring him on.
Bring on the ruler. And then we had an interaction between Damian and Trick, who set up a match the Friday night before Saturday night's main event. So we'll see how that impacts the Fatal 4-Way. Should be interesting.
Yeah.
But we'll see that. So
you're going to get tired, you think?
I don't know.
Young buck.
He's a young buck. He'll be all right. So that was our night. That was our card. That was our show. Before we get out of here, we always like to do our best and our worst of the weeks, our botches and our pops. So we always start with the botches just so we can end on a positive note. So my botch of the week, honestly, was Charlotte's chops, her feather chops. That was just like, come on, I'm tired of the woos. I'm tired of I get it. She's Ric Flair's daughter. I get it. But, if you're going to chop somebody, chop somebody. Don't just, graze them with your hands.
Yeah, I think everything in that match was my botch. So I'm going to go with that.
Cool. And my pop for the week is anything involving Jacob Fatu. I'm just glad that he's back. He's great. He's a NorCal boy, so that's where we're both originally from. And it's great to see Fatu back. That and the Leon Slater and Mello match. I think that was the best match of the night, in my opinion. It's just, it's fun seeing those two get to do what they do.
Yeah, no, for sure. Leon Slater was definitely my pop of the week. Everything he did in ring was exciting and it was super fun. And I think he made Carmelo Hayes work for that to retain that championship. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping he gets on the main roster soon I don't know. Just, I want to see more Leon Slater.
Yep. And change his music. All right. So
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because it clearly affected you, and I have no idea why.
Well, it's just, again, we'll save that for our own special intro music show.
Yeah.
All right, our closing thoughts. Did this episode move things forward? I think so. Yes. I think changing SmackDown to 3 hours allows for more storytelling. We're definitely able to focus on stories that have gotten buried, like the Women's U.S. Championship and the Tag Division. We're getting to see those in the proper light now. So. Anything else stand out for you moving things forward, or?
No, I think it obviously is, it's not Royal Rumble season, but it is a,
we are on the road to WrestleMania.
That's it. That's the thing I'm trying to say. I'm so tired.
I know. Get it.
Yeah. And, I think they have a lot to do between now and WrestleMania. So you can tell they're trying to figure some stuff out, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and with the road to WrestleMania, they're trying to make sure people don't get hurt before the big matches. So, we may see a lot of quiet stuff. We may see a lot of lower end card type stuff happening over the next few weeks. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think this show has made me more excited. Not necessarily for next week's SmackDown, but for Saturday night's main event. I think they've set up a lot of stuff for that next PLE.
Hmm.
So that's happening this next coming Saturday. So we'll report on that, and we'll see what the outcomes are for that.
It's gonna be good.
So, and yeah, with that, I think I'll definitely be keeping my eye on the Damian and Trick match next SmackDown to see how that's going to affect that Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match. So,
Yeah, because it's gonna be interesting that they have a match before their match. It's not their
yeah,
match, but I mean that they're fighting before Saturday Night Main Event.
yep,
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
that's cool. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you disagreed with anything we said, just drop it in the comments, and we'll let you know our thoughts on those comments. So that's going to do it for us today.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.